Hi, I'm Jules from the Haines Collection, and this is our series Sustainable Interiors, where we talk to businesses who are bringing you more environmentally friendly solutions for your home. Last week we went to Sussex to meet Alex from Maker&Son, who make the most beautiful sofas that are made to last a lifetime. He talked us through the natural materials, the traditional methods he uses, and also what's going on in the industry at the moment. So I hope you enjoy it.
I certainly would not say that.
I was going to say, actually, I've got the old lilac on, haven't I?
Can I ask you about the Barnaby Gates ones? Because
of course.
I love Barnaby Gates.
And
the making. Yes, exactly.
Make it a frill like it.
So I know that your background isn't necessarily making sofas.
So the foundation of this business actually started with more like a life change of thinking, what was it, where was my life going, what was it that I wanted to do? And I came up with this very simple intention, and the intention was, what would happen if I created a business that involved what I loved doing in the way that I loved doing it with the people that I loved. We wanted to create something that was going to last a lifetime. And in order for it to last a lifetime, when you think about it, there's quite a lot of different things that got to come together. Physically, it's got to stand the test of time. But it's not just something physically not falling apart that makes someone want to keep it forever. So then you've got to think about it from a design point of view. What is this thing going to do? What's it going to look like? How's it going to perform? The foundations of this whole brand really come from this, desire to do things differently, to think about things differently. But I think when one is thinking sustainably when it comes to furniture, you can't just be thinking about the materials that you're making something from and where they're sourced. You really do have to think about, why is someone going to want to have this in their home for a long while?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Rather than just get bored of it.
Yeah. And so with the lifetime guarantee, does that mean that you will actually repair anything? So if I bought a sofa from you and my, child knocked off the end or whatever, would I be able to come back to you and talk to you about that?
Yes, I mean, the thing that we guarantee for 30 years are the frames.
Okay.
Right, so the frames are, if you like, the structure of the piece. And there is absolutely no reason with normal use, whatever that might be. But within the bounds of normal use, there is absolutely no reason why those shouldn't last for at least 30 years. And if someone has a problem with that, yes, of course, we're going to sort that out. One of the other things, coming back to the sustainable part, is the thing that, apart from people getting bored of what a sofa looks like or fed up with it because it's really uncomfortable, the other thing that they are most likely to get bored of is the colour of it, or that it looks really tatty. And the reason it can look really tatty is because the fabric ends up getting filthy and what have you. So ours, every single one is, it comes with loose covers. All of those, other than our velvets, are machine washable.
Okay.
And that is another thing that I think that prolongs the life of it, just simply because, yes, you can order another set of covers. And if you think of the materials that are going into doing that, as opposed to just replacing the whole thing. I mean, the landfill stats across the world are just absolutely astonishing, as you may be aware.
Absolutely,
Quite beyond belief, actually.
No, 100%. Obviously, every element of the design and the materials that are chosen, you've chosen for a reason. So are these covers, are they made from linen?
Yes. We have a number of fabrics in the range. All of those fabrics are 100% natural. A normal weight for an upholstery weight is somewhere around 300 grams a square metre. It can go 300 to 400. A heavy weight would be regarded as like 500 or 600. Well, we've chosen to weave it at 950 grams a square metre.
Wow,
so nearly a kilogram for every square metre.
Right.
So, a set of covers is, a really very heavy thing. If you're going to make a cover at that weight, the chances are it's going to be a very, very, very long while before it wears out. I'm incredibly proud of being able to be involved in every single part of the supply chain, right to the point that we are now able to forecast in advance to the farmers that are growing the flax.
Yeah, wow, that is amazing.
And that they're planning their lives around the fact that we're, they start planting then, and then by the time the flax is grown, and then it gets taken and processed and made into the yarn, and then it's woven. As we as a business advance, as we get more and more momentum, our commitment to doing more things more sustainably, having greater traceability of every single component that's in there is just going to increase rather than decrease.
Absolutely. And you sort of touched on the word sort of learning. Do you think that there's room, or maybe even a need, to educate consumers, buyers in that way, to show them how important buying something like this is?
Again, I think it's a question of balance. With everything that we do, we talk about a mixture of things. We talk about comfort. We talk about the fact that it's all natural materials. We talk about the fact that we make them locally to where we sell them. We talk about the fact that the materials, as much as possible, that are being used in each one are being sourced locally as well. Now, the fabric we're manufacturing in Australia, in New Zealand, in the US and in the UK. And in 3 of those places, we are also weaving fabric. But we are still shipping some fabric across the world as well. So this linen does get shipped across the world. But for instance, inside, from a natural materials point of view, there's wool, there's cotton. In Australia, we're sourcing the cotton from within Australia, and the wool is actually sourced from an organic farm that's only 30 miles away from where we're making the sofas. So the education piece, coming back to that, what we've found is, right at the very beginning, we've only been going for 3.5 years, a relatively small percentage of our customers you could say, that really cared about it. And now, I think a really quite a high percentage of them either care about it or really care about it. And so I think that educational thing, yes, we've built our brand, we've built our reputation around it, but I think there's just a growing awareness. Most people, though, have almost zero idea that pretty much every upholstered piece of furniture that you would sit in is basically made from plastic. It is. And when someone will look at a sofa like this and say, oh, well, it's that price, and I can get that one from there at that price. It's not only the materials that are costing more, it's the manufacturing process that is taking longer. So underneath an average sofa will be a fairly basic wooden frame. Believe it or not, at the lower end of the markets, it's a combination of some form of plywood and cardboard inside.
In the frame?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then with the very least expensive ones, they are literally sprayed with a spray adhesive, the frame. And then blocks of foam are literally just stuck on. All of that is alarmingly toxic. People understanding, well, okay, it looks like that, it might feel like that, but what's inside? And I think the food industry has done such a great job. They're kind of pioneers in a way of getting to a point where people are thinking about, where has this carrot come from? Where has this salad come from? And I think that within the interiors industry, that is something that is going to just grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're just at the start of the wave, and people are finally sort of getting into it.
I'd like to think that it's almost impossible not to be mindful of the fact that the world has more than enough landfill. And so surely the only responsible thing to do, if you are going to be in the business of designing and making products, is to do it in a way that has the least impact. Remembering that it's not just whether something's going to last. It is not just where this thing came from. It is someone going to get bored of it? Is someone going to just like, get that out of here. It's not comfortable, or it doesn't fit, or it doesn't look right anymore. Yeah. You know, because the reason that most of us change our clothes is not because, you know, they wear out anymore. I mean, they do, but the reason most people do is because, you know, they're not fashionable anymore.
Yeah.
And with the design of what it is that we're doing, we are absolutely not following fashion. The form of these came from what it was that the function was, and the function was for them to be extraordinarily comfortable. And when you think about something that's extraordinarily comfortable that you're going to sit in or lie on, the most natural thing that comes to mind is being in bed.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's no surprise then that this feels like a whole great big load of pillows.
Nice, yeah.
You know, so it's that thinking that, in a way, you don't have to really think very hard to come up with this stuff if your mind is within that framework.
Yeah. Mention this feeling like a bed.
Yeah.
I know you've actually gone into beds, and actually I'm sure I saw one of your lovely adverts of being able to buy just a headboard.
Yes.
And I think that's such a great idea. So when did you make that transition into beds? Because I know you.
Yeah, we started doing the beds. I think maybe about a year ago, and then the headboards came more recently, and we're just in the process of finalising our mattresses and mattress toppers as well.
Oh, that's
which,
interesting.
yes, of course, they're completely natural.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, I mean, I have got the first proper production sample up on my bed, and there is no way it is ever going to leave this house.
It's that good.
And this in itself is not unusual, that the mattress, you know, you can have firm, medium, soft on either side, you know, so, you know, you don't have to have the same on both sides.
Yeah.
But then in addition to that, there is a summer side and a winter side. And so on the summer side, in the fill at the top is, amongst other things, is flax, is linen. And on the other side is cashmere. Wow. So you've got, you know, this sort of amazing heat retention, and the incredible thing with linen, as I'm sure you'll know, is its conductibility. You know, it pulls the heat away. And with the topper, it's the same thing. So for a king size bed, there are around 7,000 springs that are in the topper. So these tiny little springs.
In the topper, and then you've got the springs in the bed. Yes.
Imagine bubble wrap being made of fabric rather than plastic.
Yeah.
And imagine inside the bubble being a tiny spring rather than air.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is what sits inside these, you know, these thousands of springs, layers of those.
Yeah.
And I mean, I literally can't wait for this product to come out on the market, because it's just, when you lie on it, it's like, oh my God, I've never laid on anything like that before.
Great. Well, the question that I like to ask everyone, and you may have already actually answered it, because I think I can guess your answer. What is your desert island piece? So if you're taken off to a desert island, which product would you have to take with you, and why?
I think it probably would be the topper.
I think I would take your topper, definitely.
Because it's, yeah. You know, when you have an idea of something, you know, and you put it through a development process, it doesn't always work out, you know, and you have to redo it, and, you know, do another one. And we've been developing this topper for, I think now maybe 18 months. You know, on one side we've got the cashmere underneath it, and on the other side there's linen. And it's just, there's something about it that's just, I love it.
Okay. Well, there we go. Alex, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been so interesting, and we're very excited to see the beds on sale soon, I'm sure.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Great, nice to meet you.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do leave a message in the comments below. We'd love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe, as we've got more coming in the series. And next week, we're chatting to James from Parkside about his environmentally friendly tiles. So I'll see you there.